Hey guys, it's Luke here from T2FIT. I hope you're doing well. Now, the purpose of this video is to go through how you'll be tracking your protein, fats, carbs, and calories over the coming weeks and months. Now, these macros and calories, macros being your proteins, fats, and carbs, which make up your overall daily intake of calories, have all been worked out by our nutrition expert, Mel, who's taken into consideration your weight, height, sex, activity levels to ensure that you get the best possible results. So, I'm going to take you through a tutorial as to how you'll be tracking over the coming weeks and months. First things first, we need to head over to the App Store. Search for MyFitnessPal. Click download. For me, I've already got it downloaded, so all I'll need to do is open. And then when you get to the app, you'll see at the top there, calories remaining. We want to click that tab at the top. We want to select protein. We want to select goal. And from there, we can adjust our calories, carbs, proteins, and fats. So if you can now please head over to the email you received from Mel, where you had your calories, carbs, proteins, and fats listed. Once you have entered your calories, I'll give you an example of 2,000 calories. You will then notice that the carbs, proteins, and fats, all those grams and percentages will now be adjusted. What I need you to do is adjust those percentages depending on how many grams you have got listed from the email Mel has sent you. So, for example, you can see carbs here, 35%, gives you 175 grams worth of carbs. You're probably looking at more of 40 to 50%. And if you notice, I adjust up to 45% here and it heads over to 225 grams. Now, let's say that's your target. Great. That's what you're going to stay on. These should be there or thereabouts the grams that you've got. Okay, you want to get as close to it as you can. It'll probably be spot on. You then want to do the same for protein and you want to do the same for fat. So notice how I'm adjusting these percentages. You can see the grams just below what that is, whether it's carbs, proteins or fats, changing. This is crucial. If you get this part right, your results are going to be taken to another level. So once you've selected and you're happy with the percentages and the grams as stated on the email that you received from Mel, you can then press tick and your goal, calories and macros will now be set personally to you. We can now come out of that and you can now see I've got a couple of different options. I can add food for my breakfast, I can add food for my lunch, I can add food for my dinner, and I can add food for my snacks. Now, you see exercise and water here. I wouldn't worry about selecting these, especially not exercise, as Mel has taken your exercise into consideration. So I'm going to give you an example. If we want to add a breakfast, we need to just select add. You can see here, this is all the sort of stuff that I generally use. I haven't used this for some time, by the way, so excuse me if there's anything on here. We want to go search for a food. And you want to be as specific as you can be with the food you're about to consume. So let's say, for example, you've just consumed a Tesco wholemeal loaf of bread. We can search for that. And it might be, let's have a look. Let's be as specific as we can be. Here we go, wholemeal farmhouse loaf. Now, if that's what you're about to consume, that's what we want to select, as a lot of the foods you'll be searching for can be quite generic. So we want to make sure we're as specific as we can be with the food we are selecting. So if you have a slice, very simple, we're just going to click tick and that will be added to our diary. This diary over a weekly basis will equate to all the foods that you like to consume. So the first week or two, you're going to be having to do quite a bit of searching for the foods that you generally eat, but most often than not, we're eating the same sort of foods week in, week out. So once you start getting into a flow with things, you'll find that you'll go to add food and that wholemeal farmhouse loaf is already there for me. brilliant. Select, I had 2 slices this morning. We can change that, tick, and that's now added to my diary. If you want to remove any, we swipe left and delete. What I'll do is I'll leave this wholemeal farmhouse loaf, the 2 slices, and I'll show you what it looks like if you're going to be looking at your daily intake. So now this is where the macros and calories come into play. So if you hit calories remaining at the top, you'll now be able to see how many grams of protein, carbs, fiber and fat was in that slice of bread. Okay, so we can see that my goal is 100 grams of protein. I've just hit 7 grams of that. So I've got 93 grams to go over my day. Okay, I hope you're still with me. We can then scroll down and also see some cool stats on things like cholesterol, certain polyunsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats and vitamins, etc. Don't complicate things too much. For now, just focus on the macros, the carbs, the proteins, and the fats. So if I come out of here, what we then want to do is start to build a diary as to what we're going to be eating on a daily basis. My recommendation and what we advise here at T2FIT is to be organized and plan your day ahead. So if you know what you're going to be consuming that day, try and do it the evening before or that morning so that you're not scrambling around last thing at night trying to figure out how you're going to be hitting another 20 grams of protein when you've hit your fats and carbs. So the best thing you can do here is to be organized. I'll show you an example for a lunch. We can go in here. This time you can scan a barcode, okay? On any of these breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinners, you can scan a barcode, whether that's a pack of salmon, some rice, some pasta. Scan the barcode, and this will then be adjusted straight to your account. That way you can be as accurate as you can with the foods that you're consuming on a daily basis. Okay guys, that is your tutorial finished. I've tried not to delve too deep into certain areas of MyFitnessPal, but what I'd like you to do now is start to play around with the app. Start to select certain foods and try and get around the protein, fats and carbs that we need on a daily basis that Mel has worked out specifically to you, your body type and what you're looking to achieve here at T2FIT. And once you've done that, any stumbling points that you come across, please feel free to reach out to any of the coaches or Mel and we'll be more than happy to help. Otherwise, happy tracking, good luck, and we look forward to seeing the results to come.